Hello everybody, and welcome to another Tarkir Dragonstorm draft here on the channel. If you enjoy the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe for more, comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Okie doke, let's see what we're working with today. Okay, our rare is not a card I particularly like. Dragonfire Blade is just really expensive to equip at 3 mana for most creatures. Sure, the pseudo hexproof is nice. There aren't a ton of multicolor interaction spells, but there are some. And generally, it's just not a card I take highly because it's just pretty expensive to use. I do, however, love Twin Moss Stormbrood and will be taking that. It fits perfectly into any red deck as a premium removal spell. And if I could wheel Globe, which isn't going to happen, it's just a really good card. The next best card in the pack is probably... I mean, this is a really weak pack. This card's okay, is pretty solid, but it requires Teamer colors. Globe might even be my second pick out of this pack just because it's kind of a weak pack, and Globe does kind of fuel an entire archetype of just dragons, globes, Dragonstorms type vibes, but we're going to take the Stormbrood. Okay, and now a couple different directions we can go immediately here. There's Purging Stormbrood, which is nice for a combat trick in like a red-white deck. Thunder of Unity is a rare that's kind of hard to cast and doesn't really pay you off for being hard to cast. Equilibrium Adept is really good as a red card. I think we might as well just stick to red because we already have the Charring Bite mode of this, and then Equilibrium Adept is a good follow-up to that. Caustic Exhale is solid, but I don't really love going straight into black after starting with this because then you kind of are playing red-black, which only goes into Mardu, and if I just start off with 2 red cards, they're both pretty good. I think we'll be pretty happy with that. Riverwheel Sweep can be good. A little bit hard to cast sometimes. Exhale. Focus to Mind. Purging Stormbrood's maybe my second pick out of the pack, because at least it's a white card to go with this one, but again, kind of requires a lot of the mana to go 3 colors again to cast all the stuff. Okay, well, Frontline Rush is messed up. Like, this is one of the best cards in the set, and we have a pretty good start for a red-white deck. So we're just going to take that. Stadium Headliner is great. It's kind of funny because this pack, every card that's good is for the same deck. So this card and Stadium Headliner. And honestly, passing a Frontline Rush might be less of a signal to someone to get in than Stadium Headliner. We're passing a lot of good cards for the Mardu deck as well. But Frontline Rush is just so messed up. I lose so many games to this card. Piercing Exhale solid, Molten Exhale solid, but I think Frontline Rush is just better than both those. And now we take War Effort. It might seem like this is a time to pick Teeming Dragonstorm because we already have 1 dragon, but we're almost always casting this as Charring Bite, and War Effort is one of the best cards for the aggressive red-white deck as well. Getting pick 3 this, pick 4 this, we're in a pretty good spot here. We're just going to have to pick up cheap cards like Fortress, Kinguard down the line. Okay. Dispelling Exhale, pick 5. Maybe a bit of a sign. Seize Opportunity, Tempest Hawk. Loxodon Battle Priest. Ugh. Pick 5. It's still early enough that maybe I'm supposed to just... I just can't imagine being in a spot where I can play all 4 of these cards, which are 4 good cards. Like, these are 4 premium uncommons. I guess Equilibrium Adapt is maybe the worst of those 4. But, like, I can't imagine a scenario where I'm able to cast these while also casting these blue cards. So I guess I will just take Seize Opportunity. It's a weird spot to be in. And now we get another Equilibrium Adept. At this point, the top end of our curve is pretty well set up. So, like, if you look, we have 3 4-drops already that we're pretty, like, happy with. This Frontline Rush is a really good card. We just have to fill out the lower end of our curve, but this is a really good card. Getting 1 pick 6 is nice. It kind of makes up for the fact that Seize Opportunity is quite bad in some decks, but it is really good with Equilibrium Adept because if you give your Double Striker +2 power, it's pretty good. This card's also way better than I thought it was at first. But we're happy to get the Equilibrium Adept, and now another Frontline Rush. This card is just messed up. This card should not be coming around pick 7. You saw me 3rd, pick 1, and I was very happy with that. This card is really good at either mode. You cast it for the 2/1/1s, or you cast it to make like 1 billion power and toughness. Wild Ride, I think, is the best card in the pack. Storm Beacon Blade is just not really a card that's doable. It is okay with Equilibrium Adept, because double strike with it is potentially nice. But I'd rather have Wild Ride for that, because you can go Equilibrium Adept, Wild Ride, and hit them for 10. Not that I really want to play Wild Ride, but that is a better synergy, I think. Now we'll take Overwhelming Surge. We're not really trying to splash in our red-white decks, because we really want to just be able to cast our red-white cards on curve. Surge can be played in a pinch. Devoted Duelist, get myself a 2-drop. Riverwheel Sweep's a better card, but Duelist is what I need. I need 2-drops. And now we get Rebellious Strike. Narset's Rebuke isn't as good in this deck because you can't really use the mana as effectively because you're kind of using all your mana to cast your spells on curve. So by the time you get to turn 5, you don't need it. Oh my gosh, this is a gift. It's so good with Frontline Rush. 2 Frontline Rushes is crazy. But yeah, just two bodies, 1 card. Plays well with War Effort. Plays well with Seize Opportunity. Wheeling that is a great sign. I'm not no joke. Wild Ride plus Equilibrium Adept does hit them for 1 billion damage. So we'll take the black card. Normally I wouldn't mind passing like an off-color card last to kind of be like, hey, this color's open. But black only really goes with red-white in this set, or mostly only goes with it. I guess there's Sultai decks, but most of the time people are combining it with red-white. So that's a combat trick. These are my combat trick piles. I am counting this as a combat trick mostly. It can be a 2-drop, which is part of its power level, but we got 1 removal spell, 1 kind of random, 2 removal spells. And this is the cards that I'm casting on curve, hopefully. Pack 2. Baby, we got there. This card is great. If I get any 1-drops, it's really good. It is fine on turn 3, but you usually want to wait till turn 5 to go like Devoted Duelist, Sage of the Skies or something. This card is fantastic. If I wasn't taking this, I would take the Static Snare. But I love Sage of the Skies. We're going to count it as a 5-drop. And now there is Corey Mountain Stalwart. This card is great. We're going to be double spelling, hopefully a lot, with our little 2-drops when we're double spelling late game or casting like a combat trick, and so this card is just what we want. There's also Bearer of Glory, Stormshriek Feral. I think I take the Bearer over the Stormshriek, but they're both solid for the deck. Zergo. Zergo is a good card, but I don't want to jeopardize my mana because I don't have any fixing right now. Casting this on turn 3 is really when you want it. So then I have a close pick between Static Snare and Equilibrium Adept. I think I'll just take an Equilibrium Adept. I do already have Overwhelming Surge if I need removal. This can be cast for cheap, but I'd rather take creatures over removal spells. And I already have a decent number of non-creatures. It also plays so well with Frontline Rush. Like, that can just be a kill condition. Like, Equilibrium Adept, play spell, attack, Frontline Rush, +3/+3, you hit him for 10, that sort of thing. There's a 2-drop. Maybe I'm supposed to prioritize, but I think we're going to wheel some 2-drops here. There's another like mediocre 2-drop there. This card plays well with any duelists we get to help us double spell continually. Okay, now Fortress Kinguard is just what we want. Oh, baby, what a good card. So good with Frontline Rush. So good with War Effort. Good with Rebellious Strike. Easy pick. This versus Static Snare is an interesting one for sure. I do prioritize like combat tricks in this deck a little bit more. I can't believe I 5th picked this. I might not even play it. But generally it's just a tricky it's like a tricky choice. I just generally like to have this sort of card because it lets you grease the wheels. You play this on turn 4, you hit something to do the next turn. Pretty nice because I want to play 17 lands in these decks. I guess this is a pretty high curve. Salt Road, Pack Beast. Love this card. Can never get enough of these guys. Play great with Fortress Kinguards. I've got so many card advantage guys. I guess maybe I should be taking this card a little lower, but Static Snare is good too. It's a tough pick. Now there is Evolving Wilds. I would play 1 Evolving Wilds in this deck if I don't get a red-white tap land, just to make my mana a little bit more consistent. I will take the red-white tap land, though, over Bearer of Glory. And then I'll cut the Evolving Wilds, because I don't need that, really. This card's just going to be better. Take some uncommons. Why not? I could try Reverberating Summons. I already have 1 Wild Ride. I'm not going to play multiples. He says as he proceeds to take another Wild Ride anyway. Devoted Duelist came back. Kind of what I expected to happen. Narset's Rebuke. Could potentially play it. We'll put this in the maybe pile. This is definitely the maybe pile. This is the... we'll put this in the maybe pile as well. just move these to the guaranteed to play pile. Mana's a little bit better. This is the maybe pile. Hopefully my camera's not blocking this out. Let's put these in the expensive pile so I'd guarantee that they are not being blocked out. These are the cards that I'll like play if I need extra playables, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in this pile. 7 with the land, so I need to get like 8 playables in pack 3, and I'm pretty confident I can do that. Okay, pack 3. Wow, Carsey Revenant's a card I hate to see. When I'm playing this deck, I feel like I face Carsey Revenant a lot, and this card wrecks me. We're going to take the Stadium Headliner, just a totally solid rare. Removal spell, plus early 1-drop aggro. There's also Fortress Kinguard. We wheeled one earlier. I don't think we will again, because people snap up those 2-drops in later packs pretty more aggressively, because they're like, oh, I need more 2-drops. But this card's still a great pickup for our deck. Just going to put it into our 2-drop column. Represent early plays. Yeah, the Equilibrium Adept pick is not working out the greatest for me over the Static Snare. Just because I don't have as many. I mean, I have a lot of 4-drops now. I mean, I'm kind of counting this as a 4-drop. I'm just putting all my expensive cards here. Okay, I love Zergo's Vanguard. I do like Wayspeaker Bodyguard too. Revival of the Ancestor is one of the best reasons to draft Abzan, but we're not going to swap, obviously. I just wanted to note that. I think Zergo's Vanguard is better than Poised Practitioner, better than Wayspeaker, and better than Riling. So we're going to happily take that. And now Shock Brigade. This is the best 2-drop for the deck, probably. Really, really good. Hard to block. Makes double bodies. I do like Stormplane Detainment. 1 copy would be fine, but gotta take the Shock Brigades when you see them. Okay, now this pack has nothing for me, so I'll take Twin Bolt. You can use this for interaction in a pinch. Again, we're trying to leverage like combat tricks. So our interaction right now is like Twin Maw Stormbrood, maybe Overwhelming Surge. Then we have like these combat tricks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2-drops that we can play as creatures on turn 2. Twin Bolt's on the maybe column for sure on Twin Bolt. Love me a Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Definitely going to snap that one up. Our deck has such high card quality. I'm glad I took the Equilibrium Adept now, because double spelling with your Stalwarts is pretty good. Rebellious Strike isn't going to wheel. Underdogs might wheel. This card's really solid for the deck. Lets your duelists keep attacking, stuff like that, but just another great creature for us. Oh my gosh, triple Frontline Rush. Okay, this deck is crazy. I was about to say, do we have any rares? But we have these 2 rares, and then we have, like, Frontline Rush is so good. I'm going to take Shock Brigade over Coordinated Maneuver, because I don't think I need the removal spells when I just have the Frontline Rushes to be, like, kind of like removal spells. Coordinated Maneuver is really good for this deck, though. I would play one for sure. I would, in fact, play multiples. Osseous Exhale over Twin Bolt, because if I'm going to take cards that I might not play, I might as well take multiple different types of them, so I have options later. Sure, similarly, I'll just take the Fire Rim form for that logical reason. Just give myself some options in my flex spot. So if I just cut all these, then I'm 2 cards short, so I can just figure out, once the draft is over, I can find the needs of my deck and then add in cards from that list to add it. So like I have 6 2-drops plus 3 Frontline Rushes, so I have plenty of things to do on turn 2. Turn 3, I've got 3 3-drops, 4 3-drops. I think I'll play Poised Practitioner. It just fits into our strategy pretty well. The Scry is going to be useful. We're double spelling, I think, a lot. So now we just need 1 card from that list. And so we can just figure out what meets the needs of our deck the best. We are a little bit light on removal. We have 1 real removal spell. Equilibrium Adept plus Frontline Rush is such a good combo, though. That's going to be really good for us. Almost certainly not adding a creature. Take uncommons to fill the vault faster. Maybe I take Seize Opportunity. Helps me double spell. Ooh, Rebellious Strike is better than Seize Opportunity. That's a good pickup. Okay. I think this deck has just only cards that I'm interested in right now. So I don't think I need to add any of these cards. So we will build it like this. Our mana's good. We even have the Windscarred Crag. I think this is one of the best decks I've had in the entire format. So hopefully we can get some results, and I'll see you folks in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you have been enjoying my videos, if they've been helping you win more, have more fun playing, if you've learned something, if you're just finding them entertaining, then Patreon's a way to give back to the channel, help me make more videos in the future, and gain access to some cool perks and bonus content as a result. I want to give a special shout out to those who support at the credits level. It makes a big difference. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round number 1 on the draw with a hand we have to mulligan, worst case scenario. Gosh darn it, why can't I just have good hands? We're just going to rely on drawing up lanes here. This is just unfortunate. Playing the mirror match on the draw is never great. There's our planes though. I don't really want to make trades because of my pack beast. But they might not want to trade either. And then I get the damage in. Yes! Oh, that's huge. Gonna play the Vanguard. So they're missing land drops, which is good for me. Sure. I could have played this pre-combat then if they double block this. They just concede. Perfect. They got frustrated. If you're patient, sometimes your opponents just concede. I was considering, I think I wanted to attack there, but I also kind of wanted to just wait and play my Poise Practitioner. Because if I wait and play this, then anytime I draw a land, I can go Shock Brigade, Frontline Rush, and just win the game, pretty much. This thing will get bigger. This thing will be tough. They might be tapped out at that point. Nice! We beat 16 Mythic, though they didn't really play many spells. And I'll see you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We have a good hand here. This Windscarred Crag, you might be like, oh, if this was a mountain, you'd be way happier. Which is true. But I'm also happy to use this to double spell with Poised later. And if it was a Plains, this hand would be unkeepable. So having one dual land in your deck is worth the risk. Okay. So because our hand can't do much right now, we're just going to use our removal spell on their guy. Turn 4, we're going to play this plus this guy. So this turn, we're just going to play this guy out. Because red mana is our choke point right now. So, like... Just do this to make sure if they try to kill our guy with a deal 5 or something, we get the extra damage in. Don't want that. They did have the Osseous Exhale. Looks like it. Boom! That's why every point of damage matters in these decks. Especially when they're gaining 2 life when they cast their spells. And stuff like that matters a lot. Okay. I will keep that spell. Because now if I draw a mountain off of this or this, or for turn, so in the top 2 cards if there's a mountain, then I can double spell again, trigger both my cards. This card's doing some work. Okay. Just buff up something that's unblocked. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's a huge draw. I'm not sure if it's better to draw than scry or scry than draw, but got the win anyway. Okay, my deck is crazy good. This deck is really strong. And we haven't even drawn Frontline Rush yet. Once we see that card in action, you'll really get it. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We've got a great hand. Once again, the Wind-Scarred Crag doing huge work here. This is like, if I could construct a version of this deck, this is how I would construct it, I think. I would like have like mostly creatures using like Frontline Rushes and Rebellious Strikes to push through damage. Okay, they mulliganed. Perfect. The land is just what we wanted. Okay. Do I play the Duelist first? Yeah, let's go Duelist. This is a trade I'm happy with. Death Toucher for random 2/1. So, yep, the damage gets through. I think I'd rather play the Stalwart than the... Oh, gosh. They're going to regret that, I think. Let's just play the 3/3 for now. I don't anticipate being able to double spell for a little bit. If I do double spell next turn with this card plus another 2-drop. Just gonna play the other one now. Revival, okay. Make 2 bodies. Combat. I messed that up. I should have played the Duelist. It's actually not the hugest deal. Okay. Shock Brigade or random draw. I think random draw is better for my deck at this point. I can cast any spells I draw. And I really want to scry towards another Frontline Rush or something. Okay, 3 2/2s. So if they have a kill spell for my Poised Practitioner, this is pretty bad for me. It'll mean they can make an attack. Okay. They killed my 1/2, so they have to have another kill spell. No, they do not. Okay, that's kind of crazy. Punished. Play this guy, play land. Attack with these guys. Because this guy can potentially hold back 6 points of life gain, depending on if they whiffed on their draw 2, discard 1. I think scrying the Shock Brigade to the bottom is still good. I miss out on a... I missed out on a point of damage from this guy and a scry, so maybe it was too high risk. Yeah. It really didn't work out. Okay. They didn't want to just go for lethal, I guess. So if I draw Equilibrium Adept into... I don't know. This game got away from me. That's how it goes. I drew like 6 lands in a row. The scrying of a spell to the bottom, I think, was okay, because I have so many good draws in the deck. Let's just go... I mean, any spell is a good draw there, but I want to draw my like certain spells at that point in the game. So Shock Guy is, I think, probably below average draw. Because when you have 3 of these, and a War Effort, and a Pack Beast, and a Storm Brood, like these 6 are really good draws. I have a second Stalwart, which would be a way better draw. I have Sage of the Skies, Zergos. Any of these cards would be better draws. And these 2, this guy, like any spell in my deck is better than Shock Brigade there, so I think it was worth scrying that away. I like would have kept pretty much any, like I would have scryed away Fortress Kinguard, devoted Duelist, and Shock Brigades, I think there. But other than that, I think most of my draws are better than that, so I'd rather get closer to them. A little bit interesting. I think the turn I messed up there was, I don't think it necessarily changed the game, maybe it did, was the turn where I didn't play the Duelist pre-combat. I should have played Duelist instead of the Frontline Rush that one turn, because I ended up just making 2 1/1s, and the drain for 2 versus just like I kind of wasted the Frontline Rush potential of dealing a bunch of damage. The 1/1s were part of why Frontline Rush would have been good. I didn't have that many creatures in play. I had like these 2, 2, 3, 4, I had like 4 creatures in play. So I maybe wasted the Frontline Rush a little bit there. If I just played the Duelist pre-combat, I couldn't attack with it because they had their 2/1s, their 1/1s and stuff. So it was kind of like, okay. And then they get like more potential blocking equity. Like they block, like they had the 2/1 Death Touch and then the 3 1/1s. So I guess they couldn't have blocked that much differently. I could have just sent in with the gang. Could have played this, sent in with the gang. The 2/1 gets blocked by a 1/1. But I kind of want to wait with that until they choose where they put their counters. But yeah, I probably should have gone Duelist into this, pinged them for an extra 1. And I think I still would have lost the game, but I think that would have been a better way to play it. Anyway, see you next round. Welcome to another round. I don't think I've had a hand that had both plains and mountains in it. It's been either plains or mountains plus a Windscarred Crag usually. Okay, we're going to keep this though. And we're going to ditch the Fortress Kinguard. Actually, I'm going to ditch the plains. I had a very similar hand the other day, and I was like, oh, I'll just ditch the spell. But then it's like, okay, I'm like 70% to draw one of my spells here. And in those cases, I'd rather just be able to play. I already have this spell I can play. So most of the time, I'm going to be pretty happy with this choice, I think. Boom, got there. Send in the gang. They're going to counter this. Nope, they don't have a counter spell. Okay. Wow, this is the deck that I'm supposed to beat. This is like the matchup. Pretty good. If I draw a 2-drop, I can play double spell, or I can just go 2-drop into Headliner killing something. Yep, okay. Yeah, I have just enough creatures. I didn't quite count that. Like, I knew, like, in my head, I was like, oh, this is enough. And then I just, like, didn't count for some reason. I definitely should have. But yeah, I think I was like, okay, this works. And then I just, like, didn't doubt it. But that was, like, one creature away from disaster. Anyway, see you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We're keeping this one on the play. Our Fortress Kinguard plus Rebellious Strike combo. Definitely making the 1/1. Okay, Corroding Dragonstorm is not a great card, so we should be in fine shape here. We're just going to play Frontline Rush to make 2 1/1s here. Because with Rebellious Strike, you just want to have a wide board to go with it. Play Corey. They're probably going to play a dragon here. No, Sidisi. Okay. Molten Exhale, sure. If I draw a land, I can play the Sage of the Skies. If not, I will just buff up this guy. Okay, that's actually perfect for me. I needed them to play a ground guy. No attacks for this turn. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. No. Well, that game's rough. That is really rough. Sure. 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 Okay. I'm not sure that was the best attack because they, like, got to eat my guy, but I got to make some progress potentially. I don't know. Trading a 2, like, just suiciding my 2/1 to get rid of the Dragon Sniper, so if I draw my Twin Maw guy again, I can do some stuff. This is really where I thrive as a player. As you've seen in previous games, I'm really good at drawing spells in crunch time. This is where Equilibrium Adept really shines as a card. I'm just going to hold this card because I want to get a scry out of it, / make it a 3/4. I mean, I'm not favored here by any means. They have, like... Definitely willing to sacrifice one of these guys. That's a really good trade for me. I think this scry is more valuable. That's a really good card to draw. Death Gorger, yep. Yep, the drain is no bueno for me. Yikes. Yep, this game's over. Oh my gosh, well... We tried. Yeah. Yeah, that was tough. That was a real tough one. I feel like my deck is really, really good, and yet I'm losing very badly some of these games. I flooded out really badly as well. Like, I have really good cards to draw in those spots. Like, Equilibrium Adept would be really good. Saltwood Pack Beast would be good. That's like 4 cards. Sage of this... I mean, they also had Jeskai Revelation. I'm just going to chalk that one up to the Jeskai Revelation being unbeatable situation. But, like, I still could have won if I had just drawn spells instead of lands down the stretch. That is one of the weaknesses of this deck, is you top deck some lands, you can't use them, whereas they top deck lands and they play Jeskai Revelation. Gosh. I don't think I could have gone much faster to kill them before it mattered. Oh my gosh. I'm definitely mulliganing. It's the correct thing to do. It just feels bad. Okay, this hand is definitely a keep. I'm going to follow the similar logic as before and get rid of the land. Especially on the draw, you're like 80-something% chance to hit your 3rd land on the draw. Especially with some redraws. Definitely going wide still because of the war effort, even though this thing's kind of annoying. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. So if I draw a land here, I can't do anything. But if I draw a land 2 cards down... Okay, so if I draw a land on my next draw... I'm just going to play Shock Brigade. Because if my top card is a land, I can still use it next turn to play the Zergo's Vanguard. But I wouldn't want to play my 4-drops anyway if I didn't have... I guess if I drew 2 lands in a row, I would play a 4-drop. Yeah, so this is going to work out better, I think. Like, Zergo's Vanguard is a good play this turn. They have Ozzy's Exhale, sure. I mean, 2 of the games I've won have been against my opponents stumbling on mana, I think. Definitely still worth doing that. You're going to find a mountain eventually. Sure. Okay, I'm going to play War Effort here. No, I want to play my Pack Beast this turn. If I play War Effort, then this is going to attack, make 2 different creatures. But then if they find a kill spell, I'm kind of in trouble. I'll also just play this guy. Yeah, I'm going to play this guy. Because this guy's a lethal threat on his own. So this will deal 1 point of damage to them. Versus being able to threaten a double block on the Pack Beasts. If they have +3/+0, if they have +2/+2, those are the 2 main tricks. Like Rally at the Monastery is a card that comes to mind. Yep. Okay. So they're dead if they don't block the Equilibrium Adept. But they don't know that. That is part of the power of my deck, is this exact combo. And part of the reason I played it the way I did was getting that Equilibrium Adept into play when I had those 2 pump spells in my hand was like, okay, they aren't going to want to block it next turn. They're at a high life total. And so expecting them to take an extra 14 out of nowhere. They didn't expect it. We got the win. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We will keep this. We do need to draw some spells, but we've got this guy to help us find more action. We got our War Effort, which is a great card in our deck. And so if we draw one of our 3 or 2 drops for a turn 3 play, we'll be in good shape. Okay, so far we are 0 for 2 hitting another card to play before turn 4. Which is unfortunate. Because we really need to be on the front foot. But we can't control that. We can just control the plays we do make. I love Magic the Gathering. Just, ugh. Real painful sometimes. Real painful. This feels like unlucky. If it's not. Our deck does not do well when it draws the same number of spells as lands. And sure, we kept a 4-lander. You have to do that sometimes. But it just feels unlucky and kind of sad. Okay, we're not blocking. No chance, buddy. We can't block this one. Blocking this guy is just not going to serve us well. Humbling Elder. Okay. They're trying to make a bird. Oh, they make the bird first. Smart. You might regret that, though. Gosh darn it, deck. Could you just give me a spell, please? Like, my gosh. This is why, I mean, I don't know. Every deck can lose these sorts of games, but I've drawn one. I mean, I started with 3 spells. I started with this guy, and this guy, and I've drawn 2 spells and 6 lands. Or not 6. 2 spells and 4 lands, including the one I exiled as my extra draw step. Just terrible. I will play land first just to play around to counter unless they pay 2. Just gonna attack with this guy. Sure. They didn't reveal a dragon, so I don't think they can stop this necessarily. Just give me a chance, deck. Like, I just need something. Just gonna kill that guy. Oh my gosh. I punted. I'm so bad. I can't kill it because I only had one guy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I choked. I should have killed this on my turn. When I had the creatures. Good game. Oops. I got frustrated and played bad. But, like, I was probably dead anyway. Make sure I play the planes that I drew second here. Okay, I'm not quite dead yet. This game, I could have won if I just killed this guy. They wouldn't have had the bird. Yeah, that is one of my weaknesses. I lost focus at a critical moment. Maybe it won't matter. Yeah, I probably was going to lose this game anyway, but I did not help my case. I should have killed the Wingblade Disciple with the Stadium Headliner when I had the shot. I think I was going to lose that game anyway because I drew like a billion lands, but if I could have saved myself some damage there, I could have attacked, maybe hit them for 6, 12 damage there or something. Still it feels bad to choke like that. I was like, okay. For some reason, I think in my head there was a part of me that thought it did damage equal to its power, and there was a part of me that like counted my creatures and was like, oh, I have 2 creatures, and I forgot that when I sacked that I go down a creature. Anyway, I think the deck was really, really good, and I just got really unlucky in my draws, and going 4 and 3 was kind of like the low end of what this deck could have done. That last game, I feel bad for misplaying, but I don't think it really mattered. It does haunt me, those sorts of things, so I apologize for that. I mean, I don't, apologizing makes no sense at all, but you know, I always hate playing badly because it just feels bad. But yeah, I think the deck was amazing. It just drew like a billion lands in 3 of the games and lost. So hopefully you enjoyed it. This is, I think, the approach to drafting these decks. I mean, this is one of the best versions of the deck I've ever had, maybe the best I'll ever have. So going 4-3 with it felt terrible, but that's how it goes. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end, leave hashtag adept in the comment section down below to let me know you made it all the way to the end. That's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you next time.